Hey everyone. Okay, so today we are back with another Crocktober recipe, but we are also going to be cleaning up this kitchen after we get the recipe going in the crock pot, and then we are going to be doing a little bit of fall decorating. I already have some of my fall stuff out, but I want to get a little bit more out because, well, I am way behind. Oh, I do have my aprons out, so there's that. Today's recipe, we are going to be making crock pot chicken pot pie soup. This is one of my family's favorites, and I like it because it's another almost dump and go. You do have to peel a couple of potatoes and chop them up, and you can dice up onions, or for me, I just use freeze-dried minced onions and then just put them in there, and then they rehydrate while they're cooking in the soup, and it gives it a really good flavor. So let's get started. So one of the things that I like to do is just peel my potato first. You are going to need for this the potatoes. You can use frozen chicken, which is what I'm going to be using here today. Just make sure you're cooking it on high if you're using frozen chicken. If you are using already cooked chicken, or like rotisserie chicken, or if you are using already thawed chicken, you can probably get away with cooking it on low. Although I am really crazy when it comes to chicken, and if it's not already cooked, like rotisserie chicken, then I go ahead and just cook it on high. It's fine. You're also going to need some cream of mushroom soup, some cream of chicken soup, some parsley, some chicken broth, all the good kind of stuff. I'm gonna rinse these potatoes off here in just a second before I chop them because, yeah. Ooh, that potato is a bit green. Now the recipe calls, which I'll have linked in the description below, the recipe does call for a fresh onion to be chopped, and it also calls for one large onion. One large potato rather. I didn't have a large potato, and usually in this I use Yukon Gold because I love Yukon Gold in soups and stuff. But again, I didn't have that, so we are going with what we got. I'm gonna go rinse these off. So I've got my potatoes diced up. Well, kind of, not really diced, but kind of cut up in chunks. I'm gonna put those in, and I'm gonna put about 3 tablespoons of onions in, and then I'm going to mix my sauces, or not my sauces, my soups and my spices together. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and start getting my spices ready while my water is heating up. Like I said, I use about 3 tablespoons of minced onions. I like using this kind of thing in soups and stews because they rehydrate, and then I don't have to cut them up. These are literally just onions that have been cut up. Now for my brand, which is the Fiesta brand, it says that 2 tablespoons equals 1 medium onion. I usually use about 3 tablespoons because, I don't know, I figure it's probably closer to a large onion then. If you wanted to use more, you certainly could, or if onions aren't your thing, you can definitely leave them out. I absolutely love my tea kettle. Pour a cup of water in there, and I'm going to take a teaspoon. I love the smell of this stuff. Okay, so we are going to go with 1-ish teaspoon to make our chicken broth. Just kind of let that dissolve in there, stir it around. Again, you can use carton broth. I tend to get these at Costco because I love the bigger jars, and it's a lot cheaper to get it this way and just combine it with water, which I already have at home, than it is to buy the cartons. If you don't use a lot of broth, cartons are probably fine. I have nothing against cartons. I used cartons for many years before I found Better Than Bouillon. I almost said Beyond Bouillon, but it's Better Than Bouillon. All right, so I've got that mostly mixed up. Does not have to be perfect. In fact, when it's not perfect, that's even better. I'm also using cream of chicken and cream of mushroom. And you're just gonna need one 10.5 ounce can of each of these. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop those open. Pop that open and put our chicken broth in. Move that out of the way because I don't need that at the moment. And I'm going to put my cream of mushroom and cream of chicken in. You do not have to add water to this because it's going to get plenty of liquid in the crock pot. We're just going to mix all of these together. This is going to be our super yummy creamy base. Again, sometimes I'll make my own cream of mushroom and my own cream of chicken. Today, I'm using store-bought. I like this H-E-B brand. If you don't have an H-E-B around you, probably your store has something similar. But it's taken out a lot of the additives and preservatives and put cleaner ingredients. Now, I mean, don't misunderstand. It is still canned condensed soup. Totally fine. Use what you have access to, use what you can afford. I will never be a bougie YouTuber who says that you have to use this or you have to use that. I'm more of a, everybody lives on a budget. Use what you can afford. Do what's best for your family. Sometimes I use canned, sometimes I make my own. It just depends on what season of life I'm in and how busy life is. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put in my poultry seasoning. I like to aim for about half a teaspoon-ish, because I don't really know. That's about half a teaspoon. And then we're gonna add in our salt and pepper. This one, I usually say measure with your heart on most things, but this one you do need about a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. At least that's what my family likes. This is a half teaspoon, so I'm doing 2 in there. I don't like to dirty up a ton of stuff, so I don't mind, you know, doing the fractions in my head to figure out how many I need. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of dried parsley. The recipe I think calls for a tablespoon. We find a tablespoon to just be a bit much. Totally fine. Again, do what works for your family. For my family, tablespoon, bit much. And then I'm going to grab, oh, I did not grab out my frozen veggies. I need to do that. Just one bag. Again, we are just going with frozen peas and carrots. If you want to do one with corn, or if you want to do one with green beans, broccoli, whatever you like. Whoop! So I get a big bowl out. And this is a 16-ounce package. If you want to chop your own or cut your own, you can certainly use fresh. Again, I like frozen just for convenience. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dump my onions in there. Once you get all of this mixed up, I just throw it on top of the chicken. I put the chicken at the bottom, and then this goes on the top. I will warn you, you might want to spray your crock pot because sometimes this sticks a bit. I'm definitely going to be spraying mine, or else I will be cleaning up a lot later, and I don't want to have to scrub. Remember, let's work smarter, not harder. Do you guys ever do that? Like you get something stuck in your head and then you're like tapping it out? I don't know, I do. It's the way my brain works. Okay, so I've got everything put in. I'm ready to put in my potatoes, put in my chicken. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and put my potatoes in here and stir them around. I like having everything mixed in before it goes into the crock pot, other than the chicken. Now, I will tell you, when I make this with rotisserie chicken, I definitely mix the rotisserie chicken in, and I just put it all in and let it cook. The chicken gives it, of course, a really phenomenal flavor. It's gonna be really good. And I'm gonna give you a secret. At the end, after this finishes cooking, if you feel like it is not creamy enough, you can add a bit of either heavy cream or half and half. I like heavy cream rather than half and half, just to kind of make it a bit creamier. But pay attention to how much you're using, because a little bit of heavy cream can go a long way in this. But it gives it a richer, fuller taste. All right, let me move this stuff out of my way, grab my crock pot, and we'll get the chicken and stuff in there. So then turn this on high. For 4 hours, I'm going to pour this just over the top of it. Oops, let me grab my spatula, swivel around. I love a kitchen that I do not have to walk myself to death in. My center island is close to my sink, which I love. And I can just, you know, turn and grab my stove, or not grab my stove, but, you know, do something on my stove if I need. I'm trying not to make a mess here, and also trying not to get in the way of the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. Although I'm pretty sure you know what I'm doing. I'm just dumping stuff in here. All right, that is all we have to do to this. It's gonna cook for 4 hours, and we will have a yummy, delicious dinner tonight. Now, right before this finishes cooking, I'm going to bake some biscuits. You can use canned. I'm using canned tonight because I've got a really busy day today. I'm using canned biscuits. I'm going to cook them, or bake them rather, and then I will serve those with this. Now, a couple of important notes here. If you want to make this, and I hope you do, you can absolutely make this a little bit lower carb. You can leave out the potatoes, or you can sub in turnips for potatoes. Turnips are a great substitute. If you didn't want to do the peas, you could do some broccoli. You can make this your own. I just tend to like peas and carrots in our chicken pot pie. You do you though. If you don't like them, then you put in the vegetables you like. Sometimes I'll add a can of green beans in here. I'll drain them, rinse them to make sure I'm not adding any extra salt in here. If I don't happen to have bought unsalted green beans, I'll add a can in here, mix it in, and it's great too. So you can do a lot with this recipe, and this recipe freezes so well. So if you want, you can even double the recipe, and then, or use rotisserie chicken, or either one, but double the recipe and then split it out so you can have some for dinner today, maybe leftovers tomorrow, and then put the rest in the freezer, and you can have dinner ready for another busy time. All right, on that note, we gotta clean up this kitchen. This kitchen is a wreck.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. gravel beyond all. A bigger scale the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Dreamy, breezy we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all.
So at this point, I'm finally getting to the dishes. Now, there's something you need to know. This was about 6 hours after we had done the crock pot meal earlier in the day, obviously. You'll see me washing up the crock pot, so clearly we had already finished that. It had cooked. It was delicious, by the way. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But I'm trying to get all of these dishes done so that I can sit down and kind of chill for a little bit, because on this day, I think I was busy nonstop. I'm not sure I sat down all day other than maybe a couple of times to take a quick drink of coffee, and then it was back up and going. Homeschool is back in full swing, obviously, because it's fall. We also had some really nice days and some rainy weather in here, so I was trying to get the back patio cleaned up and, just get things ready for fall outside, because we had all of our summer stuff out there that needed to be put up. And so it was just a really busy time. So I was glad to do the Crocktober meal. I love Crocktober. I get so many good recipes that obviously I don't film all of them, but I get so many good recipes during Crocktober from other creators. So when I find really good ones and I do film them, I definitely try to link them in the description so that we can share them. And here I'm just letting out the water. I'd already cleaned up my sink, wiped down the counters, and then it was time to end. So I want to say thank you guys for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope to see you guys again soon, and I will see you next time. Bye.